Hey there, rock stars. It's Chris with Chris Loves Crochet, and I have a bouquet. Went to the convenience store a couple of days ago. Well, I ordered online, truth be told. I ordered online, and they had some of these, and I ordered some. And what these are, there you go. They're not pretty. They're not pretty at all, but they're called longan. Longan. And it's a fruit. And let me get one. So it's like this. It's also known as dragon's eye. And they've been out of season. I didn't know anything went out of season when it's, 12 months out of the year tropical, but apparently it does. So they're back in season, and I just popped one. It smells so good. So I just popped it, I pushed it, and it popped open like that. And it's this white, fleshy, like an eyeball. Oh, Krista, if you're watching this, don't look, it's an eyeball. It's a slimy eyeball. I should put a warning on there, I'm sorry. But then when you bite into it, there's a pit, a really dark pit. Look, it's an eyeball. That's why it's called a dragon's eye. So it's like a cherry pit. Sorry about that. It comes out really easily. And they're so sweet, and they're so yummy. It's like a super sweet grape. Extra flavor. It's not like a grape because there's still like tones of flavor. It's like it's very rich grape. Something like that. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. It's so good. I wish you could taste it. Anyway, so good. And then the other thing I found, these are really good too. Today I did go to the convenience store. I just love living here. I got online, or I got on my phone on to Grab or Bolt. Those are the two, like taxi services or whatever. And called for a taxi, called for a motorcycle, came to get me. Was here within 5 minutes. Just took me up to the little town area, which I could walk to. I have walked to. I was just in a hurry. So it took me down there, dropped me off to pick up my Prozac from a pharmacy I hadn't been to. I was like, yeah, take me to this pharmacy. Just walk into this itty bitty little pharmacy. There's a couple of really nice ladies in there. One is sitting right at the door. I mean, there's like not even an aisle. It's like a closet that has shelves, and then there's a lady at the door sitting down like at a little tiny desk, coming to welcome me in the little tiny door. And then I walk in like 3 feet and turn right, and there's the glass where there's an actual pharmacist behind there, another really nice lady asking me what I want. Prozac generic is fluoxetine, and so I said fluoxetine. And so they got out this big box of Oxetine, just with, not the fluoxetine, just Oxetine. How many do you want? Got it. They don't have a prescription for it. I don't have to see a doctor. I just get it. So nice. Anyway, so then I went into the convenience store to get a soda or whatever, and they had these little princess apples. So cute. They look like little plums. Like little plums. But then if you look at it, it's a little tiny apple, but it's like, a little tiny apple. So I got these. There was one more, but I already ate one. It tastes like a gala apple. They've got so many different kinds of apples, and there's like, did you know that there's like 4 different kinds of bananas? The big size bananas, like the Western kind of bananas, not the little Asian ones that, but the big bananas. There's like 4 different kinds that you can get. So I went in and got some new fruit that I had never seen before. And then on my way out, I was gonna walk down to another little store, and I walked past a fruit smoothie stand. And I stopped and got a mango. I already ate it, drank it, whatever. Mango slushy, told them no sugar. And so I watched her make it fresh from the mango, and threw some ice in there, blended it all up. A lot of mango. And so it was just, it was a smoothie. It wasn't like an icy, with mango flavor. It was a mango fruit smoothie. It was so good. It was so good. For like $1. It's ridiculous. And then called for another motorcycle to come pick me up. Was there within 5 minutes again, took me home. Oh, you guys come visit. It really is nice. And it was beautiful out today. It wasn't that hot. It's kind of cool. We have our like cooler weather now. It's cooler. The breeze was cool. So, and in my community, there are several very small lakes, large ponds. And so there's a little bit of a breeze that comes off of there, but it was beautiful. And it was so nice riding on the motorcycle. It was so nice. It was probably 80 something degrees, which is cool around here. The heat index was probably, or the feels like temperature was probably low 90s. Fahrenheit, obviously, or I'd be dead. I did some, I have a finished object. I'm really late to the party on this one. I had it done. It has water on it, so I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I had this done, but then I wasn't in any condition to show it. This was a little make-along. I just joined the ladies when they were doing their hooker versus hooker versus hooker versus hooker, and to do the wreath with the assigned colors. And I had mentioned before that I was going to make some squares and just do a patchwork, and that's kind of what I did. I didn't like one of the squares, and so I just got my little sample of the kitty cat and did that. Did a yellow rose for a yellow rose of Texas. Put it on a little stem and put that in there, and made my wreath. And the donut, the wreath, I made with the knitting machine, and then just filled it. Because I didn't have a form to use. But these squares, I love these squares, and I'm going to show you the book I got them out of. And maybe you've seen this one, because I've seen this type of book on some people's channel, but the Granny Square, the Ultimate Granny Square Source Book, 100 Contemporary Motifs to Mix and Match. It's a Meteor book. And I think I've seen Sam from Memphis Makes, I think some of her books that she's shown lately are Meteor books. I'm not sure, maybe it was from someplace else. Anyway, this was so fantastic. Let me show you the squares. I'm not gonna do a whole book look, but there are 100 contemporary, they're all different. They're like, I know you can't really see them, but some of them are granny squarish, some of them are boho, some of them are little animal faces. There's so many different ones in here, and the amazing team of designers, there were several designers, not just a few, that contributed to the book. And at least the tiles that I did, which were just like 4, the one that I didn't like, it just didn't, the hook that I used and the design really didn't fit, and so that's why I didn't put it in here. But it was just as pretty. But these are like 3D. Okay, this one is this one my favorite? This one my favorite? I can't decide anymore which one's my favorite. But I wanted to use the colors in such a way that looked a little bit more tropical, because we don't really have like the changing of the leaves and stuff. So the yellow, orange, red, and green and brown I used as flower colors as opposed to changing leaves colors. So for my environment. So that was my wreath for the hooker versus hooker versus hooker versus hooker that I was not involved with, but I just wanted to join in the fun. It looked like so much fun. So I wanted to do it. So I did. So there's that one. Gotta find a place to put it. I'm not doing a tile of the week with this, because there's 100 of them, and I've learned my lesson from Mantha and Mike. Mantha and Moose Mike. I'm not doing it. But I do like this book. But I feel so honored and so thrilled that I'm gonna get one of or two of their tiles, one from Mike and one from Sam. I'm so excited. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was like an optical illusion. And I'm currently in my psychology classes, I am teaching perception, sensation and perception, and we're talking about visual illusions and what they're called and why they happen and all of that. And so I know I won't get it until the unit is done this year, but we still have revision at the end of the year, getting ready for the exams. And also, I mean, I've been teaching psychology for 15 years. I'm pretty sure there'll be another time to use them. So next year, I can use them and figure out, maybe I'll put them in or attach them to some kind of multimedia thing as part of an optical illusion, visual illusion display. Yeah. I also finished, this is not big enough for me, but a Cinnamon Stitches hooded pocket scarf, I think that's what she called it, is for my little granddaughter. It's probably not big enough. I can't, it's either too small or too big. If it's too small for my big granddaughter, then it can be for my little granddaughter when she's ready for it. But please put her little hands in. And cute little, she did this, Cinnamon Stitches did this one with the poppy, with the chunky. I just used some 4-weight chenille that I have a lot of right now. And I just, and used her colors, used Freya's colors. I just think it's so pretty and it's so soft. So I did Cinnamon Stitches. You know, I wasn't gonna do it. And there's something about Jennifer when she starts crocheting and talking about how easy it is, and look how easy and easy and easy. And it is, the way she presents it is so easy. I'm like, okay, hold on, Jen, I'm gonna get some yarn, hold on, pause. And then I just do it. And I could do it while I'm watching her, for the most part. I mean, this one, there was a lot of repeat rows, and so I did have to pause and come back. And I had gotten a bunch of the chenille yarn. Now, hardly any of it, let's see if I can find one with a tag or a label. No. So they just come in little plastic bags. Sometimes a couple are in there. When I weigh it, it's about 87 grams-ish, and it's like a number 4-ish. But, you know, there's not really a description to tell you that. But it is, and it's like a regular, ooh, there's a broken one in there. It's a, you know, you get this business. It's a chenille with the same kind of problems as any chenille. However, I really like the colors that I get to choose from. They're very saturated, right? Isn't that the word? So I have a lot of red and a lot of green because, you know, December's coming. But I also got a lot of the reds, different color, well, not a lot of different colors, but I got a dark red and a lighter red in order to work on a dragon for a friend of mine at school. Now, this one I did a while ago, and I've already given it to him, and it's been a long time, and I don't remember if I showed it to you or not. So I'm gonna put it right here, put a little picture of it. That's the little, I remember telling you about it. It's the Welsh dragon. Is that what we decided? No. Doggone it. Somebody even, one of you guys commented and told me. I was like, yes, that's the one. Is it the Welsh dragon? I think it is. Anyway, he loved it. He loved it. I got to do some more work on the eyes. If I'm going to use safety eyes, and adding a little bit to it, get a little better at that. But we're getting there. We're getting there. So I made the hooded pocket scarf from Cinnamon Stitches for with the chenille yarn, and I made that dragon with the chenille yarn. And then the other things I decided to keep. I decided to make myself a stuffy, an Ammy, and boy is he kind of flimsy, but I just love him. My little patchwork elephant. And I know I've mentioned before, I've got my little L that I made the sweater for. I'm pointing over there because I'm looking at her up on the shelf. Made a little friend for her. And this little guy is Frederick the Elephant. Some of you have made him, I'm pretty sure, or at least have the book that he's in. And I just took it upon myself to make him patchwork. because he's so cute. And little button eyes. They're not buttons. I just used kind of grayish or charcoal color. Not straight black, but charcoal color, and just made a little circle. So that he, you know, he's not supposed to look real, right? He's just my little patchwork. And then I made him a little bow tie. And just tied it on so I can take it off if I want, but I just freehanded a little bow tie. And he's just so soft. He was quite wobbly, and I knew he was going to be wobbly. So what I did, when I was stuffing him, I went ahead and put in a bit of a stabilizer stick. And so what I ended up using, I tried some knitting needles that were just too long, and a little too big to break, you know, whatever. And I didn't want to go outside and get a stick. Who knows what's in that? So I got one of my, you know, the knitting machines. They come with those little crochet hooks, I guess you could call them. They're little crochet hooks, but they're just so tiny around the circumference. There's not ergonomic. I'm never going to use it. So one of those is in here. That goes. I put the hook up in the head so it kind of hangs on. Not really. I mean, it's just up in the stuffing, and then down into the body, just so it won't completely flop over. I don't know if it helps or not. I was gonna put a little bean bag in when I stuffed him, but I completely forgot. But I don't care. He's so soft and so cuddly, and I'm not taking it into school because he's mine. So his name is Frederick. Certainly doesn't look like a Frederick to me. So he could be Freddie. But also I think he may be Frederick Shang. I can't remember the tone. I've got to practice the tone because one means new city and one means elephant. Shang. Anyway, Shang. I think that's his name. Shang. So I made him for me. And for y'all, my rock stars, I just finished the Rockstar Bear. Also with the chenille yarn. Made the little Rockstar Bear. This is YOH crochet. Is her name Anita? I can't remember. YOH crochet. This is a paid for pattern. Is it Etsy or Ravelry? Maybe both, but I think I got it off of Etsy. She's got such cute ones, and it's nice to go see who she names her little creatures after, because a lot of them you know, right? So, yeah. And I don't have a name for her yet. I was talking to my sister, Rosie, or Diva. Oh, she doesn't look like a diva, but she's a rock star. She's to represent you guys, the rock stars. Anyway, I love her. You're mine. You're mine. Well, this one's yours. This one's mine. One for you, one for me. So for Edward, I used this book, and I've seen, who was I watching do? It's probably Sam again. Sam, you're a bad influence on me. But it may have been somebody else. But I feel certain Sam has this one from Manfa's Makes. Crochet Cute Critters. Sarah Zimmerman. Isn't that cute? So cute. Edward the Elephant. That's what he looks like. That's what he looks like, what he's supposed to look like. But it's pretty similar. It asked for, it called for Bernat's Super Value yarn, which I guess is a 4-weight, maybe a 3-weight, I'm not quite sure. Because it calls for an H crochet hook, and I just used an I. With this 4-weight chenille, I've been using a 5.5 millimeter to do things with. Yeah. But this, I really enjoyed following those instructions. They were very, very well written, I thought. Let me see if, here are all the creatures. The animals. They're so cute. I'm gonna make more. Although I really have gotten into the whole no-sew business because, you know, what's better than not sewing. But I made Edward the Elephant out of this. Then the YOH Rockstar Bear was not a no-sew. but was very well done. Was very well done. I like the way she did that. There was the head and the body were all one piece. I appreciated that. So while I've been ill, I keep wanting to get up and get ready to do a video and come on and see you guys, talk to you guys. I mean, really talk to you guys. I feel like I'm talking to you guys. And I just can't quite do it. So I just grab some more yarn and just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. I have mentioned this before, but I did it again. I did it again. I sit and on my couch or next to my couch with my crafting things, I keep my favorite rainbow. It's just yarn in there. It's just my favorite rainbow. And as one runs out, I just plop another one in. So it doesn't have pink in here. So I also, floating around next to this box is a pink. So if I ever just feel like just picking up something that's gonna make me feel better, I know these colors make me feel better. And so I just start working with these to make me feel better. Now these are just a little milk cotton and they're pretty thin, thin weight, which is nice for around here. So I mean, if you wanted to do something like that, find your favorite colors and just keep them in a little bag just to make little things. If you get sick of whatever you're making, or you need a break from whatever you're making, you get mad at it, gets put in timeout. You know what I'm talking about. And then you're just sitting there and you want to do something. Pick up your favorite color, your favorite texture, your favorite whatever, and make a little something. So I was sitting there and I made a rainbow, and then I made a fan. I haven't finished it, and I know that there's going to be problems. I know. And what happened? I ordered some cheap little fans, and they came in yesterday. So I just peeled off the front of it. They were just like little dollar children's fans. And so I just peeled off what was on there, what's on the spokes. And so there's still some sticky on it, so I haven't sewn them on. I'm gonna sew them on so that then it does fold, sort of. And then I'll just tie it, you know, because I do use fans a lot around here. And yeah, that sticky's not, I gotta tie these on. But then you just open it up. And yes, I used a moss stitch, and yes, it still does fan. The air does not go straight through it. We know that, we wear crochet. We know that, yes, it's holy, but yeah, the air doesn't go straight through it. So yeah, it's a fan. I mean, even if it's just for decoration, isn't that a nice way to put a rainbow? So I did that. I was sitting there not feeling well, and so I grabbed my little box of colors that I love and used them all and made a little rainbow. Taste the rainbow. And now I'm working on more rainbow. Doing that. Oh, so here's one of the fans that I got, but this isn't the one that I used. Good thing I didn't want it to stay together, because that one already plopped off. So these are just little characters. And they just peel right off, and I could use this too to sew something on, fold it up. Anyway. I had made before some mandalas, just kind of free-handed some mandalas. This was last school year, and had some in these embroidery hoops, and I just attached it to it. I could have put it on the inside one, but then it's too thick for this. This is not one of those embroidery hoops that you can loosen the nut, you know, and then really put it over something larger. It's not. It's really, really tight. So I had to attach it to the outside loop. But this is going to be my stitch marker holder. I just need to find a way to hang it somewhere around here. And I have a bigger hoop too. I may end up doing that if I keep making some stitch markers. So here's my little granny square stitch marker. There's some stitch markers, one of each. I'm using the other one of the pair that I got from Refuge in the packs that I got from her. And then I had seen on Mama G, and I cannot remember who it was that made them, the little hankies, is that what you call them? The little mini hanks. So I got some of my thinner yarn. Thread would probably work better. I just got some of my thinner milk cotton and just made up a couple of hanks and put it on stitch marker lobster claws. I just think they're fun. It's just something fun to do. No fuss, no muss, just for fun. Oh, here's another finished object. So I've been playing Can we just decide that these things are fine? I've seen 30-year-olds with the little fat pockets. Can we just decide that nobody cares? Anyway, I made another, you know, my sleeves that I love because you can put them on and take them off. I did not make a hole for the head, but what I did this on the knitting machine, big 48 peg one, and followed somebody. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description box below. Because you go through and you do a tube, and then you stop and you kind of bind off just right where when you flip to panel on the machine, there's like three or four pins that do not knit, and so you have to bind those off. And then once you get the back part done, then you have to do something to make it think, and you go back to tube, so those 3 or 4 pins are now knitting in the round again, so that you do the other arm. So this is that leftover yarn. This yarn, oh my gosh, this was a Hirschner's Mill End, you know, the cotton blend, the little size 1 lace weight something or other cake that I used, and I made the oh look, it's right here. See, that's why I don't put things away. That I made this out of. I used up all of the teal, but then all of the pink color I color controlled so that I could get it on there. And I had this left over. I have used that same leftover yarn for projects. Not like here's a project, there's a project, but frogging it. This yarn has been through 4 or 3 froggings, complete froggings, and it's still perfectly perfect, just like new. What's some good yarn? I haven't washed it yet, but I'm pretty sure if it can go through 3 full froggings, that's a thumbs up on that yarn. It's my little my little cloche hat. Let's see. What do you think? What do you think? I don't think that I'm really a hat person, but then I put on hats like this, I'm like, come on, man. You can't see any of my hair, but I don't care. Isn't this gorgeous? If I do say so myself. Guess whose pattern it is? Go ahead, guess. Guess. You'll never guess. It's Bag a Day. Of course it's Bag a Day. And I added, this is one of her newer ones. I can't remember the name of it. I will link it in the description box below. And then this is my Random Acts of Kindness flower. Random Acts of Kindness week is coming up in February. I'm gonna make some more flowers. In this hat, you were supposed to go in the third loop through several rounds, but it just wasn't working out for me with this yarn maybe, or the hook I was using or something. So I just did a couple of them, and then I just went to straight double crochets. The third loop I find is much easier to do with a half double crochet. With a single, it's okay. With a double, it's really hard for me to find it. I don't know why. I don't know. And I doubled it up just through instead of changing color, I just doubled it up to make it a little bit stiffer through the brim-ish part. Doubled it up with a Kobu yarn that I thought it's kind of an antique-y look, a 1920s kind of a look. So I love it. I love it. It's my little hat. Maybe little Tucky should wear it. I wish she had a head. I really do. Tucky, we gotta get you a head. Okay? Because you just don't do it justice. You just don't. I know you try. Don't call me that. Oh goodness, little Tucky. Poor little Tucky. Do I have some other finished objects? Well, yes I do. Thank you for asking. I have been having so much fun with the Amigurumi blanket yarn, chenille yarn. I did use the sport weight, number 2 sport weight, to do the Halloween witch from Nova Gnome Creations, and I think she's off having fun with the pumpkin and ghosts. I don't know where she went, but she's somewhere. And then, so I've done just about every size yarn, and I have to always move my hook up a size or two from what a lot of the patterns say, because it hurts my hands so much. So y'all can do it. Anybody can do it. Just give yourself a break. So I did Cinnamon Stitches chicken, of course. So much fun. And I love the way that she has the shaping to where there's a hint of the feather, of the wings there. I really like that part, but I can't find that written. And I didn't write it out, and I just crocheted along with her when she did that. If you need to pause, you need to slow it down, use the little settings and slow it down and crochet with her. She takes you right through it. It's fantastic. I just wanted one that was written, and I had heard a lot about Mabel. So I feel very guilty. I feel like I'm cheating on Jennifer from Cinnamon Stitches. I'm sorry. I'm not really cheating on you. I'm looking at the chicken that I made from you. I should have that over here, but I don't. I'm looking at her. She's on display. So here's Mabel with the blanket yarn. Isn't she cute? She's so cute. Mabel. And then I got out the chenille yarn and made Maybelline. Little Maybelline. I don't know what happened with her. I think it's just the chenille yarn is just, she's really flat on the top. And that's one thing that I don't, this has a tail. It's not made as a tail, it just kind of happens to become a tail. I really like on Cinnamon Stitches how Jennifer does the tail. So I was thinking about modifying this to make that happen, and maybe figure out how she did the wings and add a little bit of hint of shape here for that. But I do like these. Same pattern. This one I used a 8 or a 9mm crochet hook with blanket yarn. This one I used a 5.5. Look how different it is. It's the same exact number of stitches. Ooh, blanket yarn is something else, right? Then I did the same thing with some little mice. So first I did the little chenille mouse, a little white mouse, totally round, nothing flat about it, totally no sew, totally easy, totally 20 minutes. Totally. So cute. So cute, so cute. And then I got out the blanket yarn, and it didn't grow as much, but wait till Charlie comes. Anyway, so again, no sew. This one I actually sewed on the eyes, embroidered on the eyes with just one strand of blanket yarn. Made it easy. Probably should have a little pink nose, but it doesn't. So did that. Again, 8 or 9mm, 5.5. Fun. And then I did Thanksgiving. And Kim from the Crafty Nomad, she was doing chickens, and then she put out a post on her community tab. I love that community tab. We should all use that more. I go out and repost when I get notifications. So if you set up for notifications, you get those posts in your feed too. Yikes. And she posted that whoever did the chicken one that she was doing, which is a little too leggy for me, did a turkey. There's my turkey. And I decided to make a Christmas turkey. It's a Thanksgiving turkey, but I used red and green so that it can stay out with all of my Christmas shenanigans when I do that. Little feet. Now this as well is pretty much no sew. The only thing you have to do is she has you tie in the legs and tie on the gobble? Is that called a gobble? Tie it on. So you're not really sewing. You just stop at a certain point and then tie it onto that. Like the last round that you do, you stop and you tie it onto those stitches, and then you continue crocheting around it. And these you crochet in as you go along. You just make them before you start. and these wings are no-sew, and the beak just happen as you go around. This is a great little. Now I also made a little one in the chenille, and this one, the big one, I put the safety eyes, and then on the chenille I did the I just embroidered them. Now the one thing that I will say from using the different size yarns, just you can make any pattern that you want using the kind of yarn that you want to use and the hook that works best for you to get the results that you want. But I will say that with the blanket yarn, there is a big difference in the way, you know how when you're crocheting in a round and your rounds don't go straight up and down, they curve over. Each time you go around, it continues to shift. Blanket yarn shifts a whole lot more than a chenille yarn, or than a sport weight yarn, or even, you know, just a regular old 4 medium. It shifts a lot more because of just the way that this yarn works. So as you come around in the pattern, if it doesn't look right, then you may need to modify it. Give it another stitch until it gets in the right place, or back up a stitch because that's where it's centered or mirrors the other side. So just if something isn't made for blanket yarn, just keep an eye out for that to keep things balanced as you go along. If it's like a no-sew and you're putting it in as you go along, and to get the tail, you know, right at the back, because you've already got the beak in there, make sure that tail ends up right behind it. So that's my little tip for you. But aren't these the cutest little, again, Christmas colors, right? And this is that velvet yarn, and I sewed them in knowing they're gonna fall, but I sewed them in the way that they're supposed to stand up, but they don't stand up at all. I knew they'd flop, but talk about floppy, right? Still looks great. I love it. You know what that is? It's a Christmas axolotl. Axolotl? All of a sudden that doesn't sound right. But I did a little bit of work. I did use safety eyes, and then I put a lighter green around it to embellish the safety eyes. It looks a little freaky, but I mean, it's an axolotl. I think it's an axolotl, right? All I know is there's O's and X's and Y's and L's, and I don't think there's an A. I don't know. So it's so cute. This one also, Kim the Crafty Nomad suggested, and I think I used the same no-sew pattern for that. And it's not, you don't sew pieces on, but once the body is done, you do this on the surface. You crochet it onto it. So you're not actually using, you know, a needle and yarn. So that's fun. She did, Kim, the Crafty Nomad, hers is like this big monster. And I think it's the same pattern. I'm 99% sure I went and got the same pattern, but it's gigantic. It's so cute. You should go see it. It's purple and pink, I think, or something. So, you know, it was an axolotl after my own heart. Zelda, NRJ3. She's another one I see when she does something. I'm like, I gotta do that. Right now, I gotta do it. So I did it. Look, Z. If you're watching, hi. I did a pickle. Emotional support pickle. So, yeah, I didn't use a pattern. I tried to use a pattern. Don't use a pattern. Use a pattern if you want to use a pattern. But just start with the amigurumi head, and then just keep going. And every now and then do a little wart. Do like, you know, 3 or 4 double crochets, and then keep going. And then lose those extra stitches when you come back around, and then close it off and put a little face on it. Because, come on. Don't we all need some emotional support pickles? So if I did the same thing, I didn't count, I didn't write it down at all, but I could make a big giant one. A big giant one, and it can just be a pillow on the couch, and somebody sits down and goes, oh, thanks for the pillow. It's a pickle! Don't we all want to do that? Come on, come on. And then finally, I did a caterpillar. Now this has been done for a few weeks, and you may have seen it on Memphis Makes. Sam put it out for the, I gave it to Sam for Amigurumi Wars, and I just love it. And I did it, I freehanded it and took notes as I went along, and it's pretty much no-sew. I just sewed on the head, but everything else is no-sew, no sew. So, no sew. So I'll put out I'll do a little tutorial on this. I'm planning on doing a tutorial on this. Oh, and actually, finally, I'm gonna do a tutorial on him. Simple, simple, simple. But I like what I did with the eyes, how I made the eyes a little bit, you know, a little bit narrower on the top and kind of like a teardrop shape. And then also the body of the octopus, instead of just being a round head, you give it a little bit of length here, and then do the little tentacles, and of course it's closed up. And of course it's no sew, I mean, come on. But I'll do a little something. This will be really, really simple. If you need something to follow, I'll put it out there. It's so soft, I love these. I don't want to do this. I already have one that's in blanket yarn that I did last school year, and it's up at school, and they love him, her, him, whatever. But this is so soft, and I don't want to fight with the blanket yarn for another octopus. So anyway, here's my little one. Kind of look, you know, it's an oud. I've been busy. I've been a busy girl. It's been sitting here. I know there's more. Been playing on my knitting machines. I have I did take the smaller knitting machine, the 22 pin one, into school to use with my crochet club. And I'm gonna try to remember to get some pictures this week of them working on it without faces, right? But so you can see that they've been, oh, they're having so much fun. We've been making headbands to start with. And they're just having a really good time with that. But still, we've got some crocheting going on, and they're bringing in all these big ideas. Can I make it? Yes, you can make it next year. Right now, let's keep practicing the chaining and the single crochet, and then double crochet. And then I think I'm going to take them into a granny square after they make their first like phone bag. Make a fabric that's a rectangle, fold it up, make a chain, got a phone bag. No fancy flap on it, no button, no nothing, just a piece of fabric, sew it up, do a chain, you can wear it and show everybody what you did. On the machine, we're doing the 22 pin first, and just making headbands with it. One of the little girls, she wants to do fingerless gloves. So I've been practicing on, I made one so far, practicing that, but that's using a tube that then you use as a panel. You use it double-sided with the large one. And so I haven't figured out how to get that there. It doesn't fit my backpack to ride on the motorcycle to school. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but she does want to try that. And I already put her off 1 week, so I'm gonna need to take that in on Tuesday, see what we can do. We'll just do what we can do. They're having a great time though. Fantastic time. So thank you so much, you guys, for stopping back in. If you're new, thank you so much for stopping by, and please subscribe if you enjoyed this podcast. Please subscribe. Check out my tutorials, some of the other videos that I have out there. I've been out there for a while. I did take a hiatus, but I have lots of tutorials from a few years ago. If you want to check those out, there's some freeform, a couple of freeform videos that are out there. If you thought about making some scrumbles, making some things out of freeform, check that out. Give you some new ideas as we're getting all creative in our yarn for the winter. Oh, I also wanted to mention the Chili Charity Challenge that I had put out there. I haven't heard back from many of you. There's a comments on it that said that it's a good idea and everything, but I haven't heard back from many of you. So I am still gonna do a giveaway. So if you want to win a little surprise mystery bag from me, because it'll be a mystery, because I'm going to order it online to get it shipped to you, so I don't have to ship it from Bangkok. But some little yarny care package. Send me a little picture of what you have done for charity, not to toot your own horn necessarily, but to give people ideas, give them options that they're tired of making the blankets and the hats or whatever. Maybe. I don't know. Send me what you've got. Send me an email of what you've done, what you have donated to whatever cause, whatever drive, whatever. Just send me a little picture, and so that I can share what it is you've done and where it's going to. So it'll give ideas for what to do and where to send it to, whether that be the exact same place or something in your own community. that would be really helpful to the other people out here on the YouTube streets. So consider doing that. Just send it to me. Don't think about it as tooting your own horn. I know we give to charity because we want to help, not because we want big praise. I know. But I know that it also takes a little bit of effort to take a picture and to send it to me. So I will be drawing a winner, those of you who put forth that extra little time that it takes to send it to me, and I'll send you a little something just so that we can get out there to other people just some different ideas about what to make and where to send it to. So be true to yourself, be kind to yourself and to others, and find your joy. I love you guys. Bye. I got a new tripod, and what y'all are sitting on, I'm pointing at it, you don't see it. It's what my phone is sitting on, so what you're seeing me from. And when I got it, it's just a stand-up one so that I could, maybe move to different places and not have the same old background. Maybe have something a little bit further away, because what I have are like tabletop camera holders, phone holders. And I just wanted to have something a little bit different. So when it came, I opened it up. It's a microphone stand. I used to sing in a band. I was a singer for a long, long time. And when I opened it, I was like, what? It's a microphone stand? What did I do? And no, it is a microphone stand, but there are pieces of it that are missing. It just doesn't come with the microphone holder to go on the stand. What it comes with is a phone holder to go on the stand, to screw onto the top and whatnot. But it's a telescoping, kind of like a guitar microphone stand. Anyway, it was very nostalgic. It was very nice. Like, oh man, I can do that. I can set up a mic stand, whatever. So that's what y'all are on. Aren't you fancy? Rock stars. Do you guys remember when I had the video out about the local, or the LYS, the local yarn store in Bangkok called Mind by Hand? And do you remember that video? And there was a picture of me and Mind, because her name is Mind, that runs the shop. She doesn't speak very good English. She tries really hard, and I so appreciate it. Her husband was there, and he was much more fluent in English. Anyway, I was thinking I want to do a Christmas advent, and I was looking online, and there were some things to do, some yarny advents, really quite expensive. But then, even if I invested in some really nice, I'm worth it, right? Some nice hand-dyed yarn, some very nice high-quality yarn just for fun, give myself a Christmas present. It would be double the price to have it shipped here. So I just kind of put that aside, and then I thought, well, wait. There was a local yarn store with a lady that I met, put up a video. They were very appreciative. And so I went online and found her shop online, Mind by Hand, and like about a month ago, and put like 24 different little things, some yarn, some tools, some accessories, things in my shopping cart, thinking, wow, I wonder, I can just get them and wrap them and whatnot, or just pull them out of the bag. I don't know what I'll do. So I sent a little note with the order. When I finally ordered it, I pretty much forgot what was in the cart, okay? Because I just put in things that I thought would be interesting. Not that I needed, right? So I put the things in the cart, and then so when I went back, I didn't remember really what was in there. And when I put in the order, I just put a little note that said, hey, do you remember me? I have a YouTube channel. Would you, I want to open these one at a time on my channel. Would you be willing to just wrap each one in separate paper, just some plain paper? Just let me know if you would need to charge extra for that. That very next day, I got a call from her daughter, who was also fluent in English, and was asking me about it and asked me if it was an advent. I said, well, yeah. She said, so do you want each one like done? What kind of paper do you want? I said, oh, it doesn't really matter. Just, just wrap it. But she said, but it's for Advent, right? It's for Christmas. You're going to be opening it up. I said, yeah. I said, okay. That's all I wanted to know. And so I got this box like 2 days later. So it's been sitting here, and it was wrapped. Well, not the box. I mean, it was a shipping box, right? Big big giant shipping box that had the regular label and everything, but it had this gold cord wrapped in a bow around it. I was like, oh man, what did she do? What did I do? Well, I don't know if you'll be able to really see it. I will try to zoom in when I edit. But can you see down here, I opened it up and each one is wrapped in, there's a few that are just in brown paper, but there are 24 gifts to myself that are individually wrapped with a bow on every single one of them, different wrapping paper. I mean, not 24 different wrapping paper, but they're all wrapped differently. Isn't that sweet? I just think that is so amazing and so thoughtful. And I'm speechless. I just thought it was very, very nice. And so I got my Advent. So I'll be doing Vlogmas in December. I will probably be doing a little bit of batch recording so that during the week while I'm at school, I'll still be able to get something out every day during December. You know, I'll get to open up a gift every time. So it'll be a nice enticement for me to sit down in front of a camera, for me to put a little bit of lipstick on and sit down in front of a camera. So that's